Welcome to the PioneerCast. Hopefully over the course of the next 8 to 10 minutes, you're able to pick up some insights on how to develop your leaders, build your business, or forecast and monitor your markets. I'm Dwayne Abels, founder and president of Pioneer IQ. Today's a big day for us. We're going to roll out this new series called 2021, the Year of Transition. So in the studio, I've got Keith Prather.
Hello, glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith Prather and I, most of you know, have worked together for nearly 20 years or so. Right. Most of everything that he and I do together are very focused on forecasting and monitoring markets for AEC executives and leaders. So in your own terms, Keith, how would you describe what we do for AEC leaders?
Yeah, we monitor the market forces that bear down on companies, as you said. So we're watching economics, geopolitics, we're watching industry dynamics, and we help executives understand that market environment so that they can very easily chart a path through it. It becomes strategy.
Absolutely. So out of the three things that we help clients with, developing leaders, building business, or forecasting, monitoring markets, I would say unequivocally that right now we're getting the most questions consistently on how are markets shifting, what's driving them, where should we be applying effort, where should we maybe consider pulling out, right, and moving away from industry sectors or geographic markets. So introducing this whole series, 2021, the year of transition, is a big effort for us. We're going to continue this on through the year 2021. And the whole concept's very simple. If you look at the year 2020, we've labeled that the year of opportunities. And as we all know, we went through a ton of disruptions that hit the marketplace in the year 2020 that then bled over into 2021, especially with some of the other social and political movements that have been affecting our industry sector. But one of the things that is really driving the whole concept of this podcast series, again, titled 2021 Year of Transition, is two factors. Factor number one is out of all of the clients that we work with, we're able to get a ton of survey data from owners and buyers of design and construction services. And one of the things that we've been consistently hearing for about 6 months now is that many owners have gone into a new planning cycle, which typically happens every 5 to 10 years. But this is a unique situation where everyone's experienced the disruptions of 20, and now we're looking at 21. Things are starting to balance out, and some people are able to better identify a runway. And what we're noticing through all the data is a lot of leadership teams now going through a new planning cycle or phase. And what we're seeing is that over the next 3 to 6 months, these new plans will start to roll out. And then 2022 will be what we're calling go time. And that's the time where a lot of these leaders and executives and leadership teams will start to execute very aggressively. And from the pent up demand and aggression that I've been seeing, that could be quite entertaining. Hopefully we don't have too many more disruptions that prevent or affect that. So that's the whole concept of 2021, the year of transition. What we want to be able to accomplish for you through this series is simply being able to take each industry sector, each major macro industry in the U.S. economy, and start to help you understand what's affecting it, how it's changing, and maybe even some specific opportunities that you and your team may want to consider pursuing. We're also going to talk about geographic markets or industry sectors that you may want to consider pulling back from, so that your resources, people, and effort are fully focused on the right industry sectors and geographic markets for you to move your business forward. A key component that we want to announce or walk you through, I don't like that. We had a good segment stop there.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
So okay, so here we go. The second variable that we want to introduce to you that we've uncovered through a lot of our feedback directly from, again, owners of organizations who are buyers of design and construction services, we're seeing a large shift of needs change. And at the end of the day, if we're all in business to serve the needs of clients and communities, now is the time. Now is the time, maybe more so than ever, where the magnitude of need and the magnitude of change are intersecting, and it's driving a lot of stress. And ultimately, because this has been going on for so long, we're noticing that a lot of leadership teams and decision makers again, buyers of design and construction services are going into what we call a chaos mode. And the whole concept here is that the stress of the distractions and the disruptions in their plans have caused this high stress or this chaos mode. And what we're identifying is that this is a time, maybe a really rare time, where they're willing to look at new teams, new service offerings, new options, new solutions that they may not have ever considered before. And what we've been communicating to a lot of our clients and in a lot of content that we're producing is right now, over the course of the next 6 to 9 months, maybe a year, there's this window of opportunity for service providers, again, people who are deeply focused on the greater needs of their clients, not just their projects of their clients, but those folks who are focused on those greater needs have an opportunity to uproot a competitor who may have been seeded deeply into that partnership with that prospective client. And this is a time where you have the ability to go in and uproot them if you have a holistic solution that can provide a renewal of hope and energy to that owner that they aren't currently getting from their existing service provider, but ultimately providing them with that holistic solution to get them back to that stable, happiness type of a track or a path. Again, this is what we're calling the chaos mode, and it's just a mindset that a lot of owners are starting to reflect as we do research with them on an ongoing basis. So a couple of key things that we wanted to introduce to you in this first series is how we operate, how we think, and a little bit about our dashboards. And Keith, I'll let you take this over from here.
Yeah, as we hit each macroeconomic issue that we're going to cover over the next several weeks, one of the things that we're going to do is use some real simple visuals. So we're using this, it's kind of a dashboard or almost like a gauge cluster analysis. And so basically what it does is it's very simple. We use a color, green, yellow, red, to designate the current condition of an industry. So if this were commercial construction, for instance, right now, it might be red. If we were seeing, retail warehousing, well, not retail warehousing, but if we were seeing warehousing, probably be a yellow right now. Retail, probably also a yellow. But if we're getting into things like new terminals, if we're looking at, brand new distribution centers, those would be, hot markets, so they'd be green. But then we also are using a gauge, if you will, or the hand on the gauge that would tell us how fast that industry is moving. So like in the top right there, you see that, we've got an industry that is green, so it's currently growing. And then we expect the growth over the next 6 to 12 months to be very aggressive. So each one of our industries will have a series of these gauges that we'll use inside those documents. The other thing that we're going to do is, for now, we've at least scheduled 3 specific podcasts that will be upcoming. The first one we're going to tackle is the outlook for commercial construction. And we're going to talk about some of the industry dynamics, how quickly the markets are going to open up, how quickly we can consume, current office space so that we can start building new office space. Then we're going to dive into transportation and warehousing, and on a little broader terms, it's probably more about supply chain management and some of the supply chain challenges that we're all going through right now. But we're going to unlock, what we see for global supply chain management, commodity prices. We're going to hit just that whole challenge that we're going through right now. And then the third item is going to be industrial production and understanding what's happening with changing dynamics in especially U.S. manufacturing, but also a little more broadly, I should say, the USMCA markets, which would include Mexico and Canada. So watch for those coming over the next several weeks, and we'll tackle each one of those in depth.
Yeah, we're shooting for about an 8 to 10 minute segment, so you can either listen to it on your way into work, listen to it while you're working out, and or watch it, in a brief few 10-minute window that you might have at work with your executive team. But our whole hope is to give you some insights on how markets and industry sectors are being affected so that you can make decisions for you and your team. A couple of things that we want to make sure that we are crystallizing for you as we finish up here. Number one, in terms of your leaders, the absolute most effective thing that your leaders can be doing right now is sitting down, having conversations with your ideal clients and your prospects, trying to understand how their markets are shifting, how they interpret those shifts, how they think their business models could be changing, how their business plan could be changing, how that's affecting their facilities, both existing and potentially new. Again, these are in-depth partnership level discussions that will help drive your business forward and help them start to understand how you can better serve your clients. Secondly, as this applies to helping you build your business, this is where you're able to start to understand new services, new offerings, something that's more holistic for your clients. So as you, as the leader, are interpreting what your other leaders and executives are hearing in these interviews, it's an opportunity, maybe a rare opportunity, where you're able to start to look at new things that you can offer to existing and to new clients. Maybe more so than ever, there is a ton of people who are out there that need you. Lead on. We'll see you on the next one.